Hey everybody, I'm Daniel from Raw Hunting, and I guess I'm going to do a little interview, let you know a couple of things about me. So, got a couple of questions here, and I guess we'll just go through them. What is your most memorable harvest? Probably my first. I was hunting out of a tree stand up in somewhere close to point 19 and killed a little doe. That was about the first time I can remember actually hunting. I was 13 years old, ecstatic. But, you know, we all are when we're 13. What is your favorite animal to hunt? Definitely whitetail deer. Whitetail deer is by far the hardest thing I've ever hunted, but definitely my favorite. What is your favorite wild meat to eat? I'd have to say whitetail deer. So far I don't really go venture out into the game world, so whitetail deer is probably it. Have you ever had something scare you while in the woods before or after daylight? Well, I never thought a turkey would scare me, except for when you're walking in the woods about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, about 10 fly over your head. That's pretty scary. What is your preferred type of tree stand to use? I just have a little Summit tree stand. Self-climber. That's my favorite just because it gives me a versatility of going places. I can kind of climb wherever I want as opposed to being stuck in one location. How old were you on your first hunting trip? I was 13 years old. That was the first time I killed a deer. We went somewhere close to point 19 up in Anderson County. Do you ever have trouble getting up to go hunting? No. Getting up to go to work, I have a lot of trouble. Getting up to go hunting, it's a breeze. I don't mind it. I can get up, sometimes even before my alarm, just because I'm excited and I want the thrill. What is your worst mistake you have ever made on a hunting trip? That's kind of hard because I try to keep away from making mistakes, but one time I was coming out of my tree stand and I thought I'd come out of it a little quicker without putting the back straps around my climber, thinking I'd just manhandle it, and ended up losing the bottom half of my tree stand about 10 feet down the tree from where I was sitting. Well, that was very interesting trying to get that. I had to wait for my friends to come help me because it was a bad day. What is the funniest thing you have ever seen while hunting? I don't know about the funniest thing I've ever seen while hunting. Let's see. I've seen some deers mating. I have, I don't know. That's kind of hard because I don't really see a lot of funny stuff while I'm in the woods, but we talk about a lot of stuff, you know, over our radios or when we're at the hunting camp, but that's about it. What advice do you have for anyone interested in starting to hunt or a new beginner? Well, definitely don't go buy the most expensive gun on the market and think you're going to be the best person to hunt. Hunting is just an art that takes time. You got to go get you some cheap budget something, get out there, see if you even like it before you go hunting, because it's one of those, it's just there's a few amount of people that like it, and then some kind of go and get interested for a little bit and then they'll quit, and you don't want to spend $1,000-$2,000 on hunting equipment to then not like it. So I definitely say go cheap, find somebody that knows what they're doing, let them take you out, and you know, sit with them on your first hunt or a couple of hunts, and you know, talk to them, figure out what they know, you know, help them show you how to call deer in, and you should have pretty good results with that. Okay. What do you like most about hunting? Well, the first time I ever killed a deer, that rush, I'll never forget it. It's just pure adrenaline. I was shaking. It's just hard to explain, but that's that thrill of, you know, getting your first kill, and just the thrill of hunting in general is just, that's what I love most about the hunting. And of course, you know, hanging out with my buddies around the camp, and you know, all the things we get into over there, because usually with friends, if you have friends that hunt too, that makes the hunting. What is your favorite deer hunting bow or rifle? Well, I'm prone to a Savage 110 rifle. .270, just because that's what I grew up on. Old wood stock. It was cheap. It was the first gun my father bought me. So I'm pretty prone to that just because that's what I've always used. That's kind of like my bread and butter gun. But I'm not opposed to using anything really. Whatever will get me out there, that's what I like using. What is your favorite hunting trip? I'd say when we all went to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. But honestly, I think we had the best time out there just with the buddies in the hunting camp. I might have killed a doe, but honestly, some of my favorite trips, we've killed nothing and still been my favorite trip because you would go out there with your friends and just have a good old time for a weekend. What would you say is the best thing about being a hunter? It's definitely the crowd that you get to meet when you're a hunter and you go out and meet other hunters, and just the camaraderie you have between your friends that are hunters and just the other hunters around. And then it's just, there's nothing like it. It's just, you'll have to experience it to see what I mean. Who took you on your first hunt? That would be my brother-in-law's father, David. He took me out and kind of showed me, how to do things, because my brother-in-law was hunting with my brother. So his dad decided to take me and show me what he knew and, teach me how to do things. And I appreciate him for it because he didn't have to do it. My father was too old to be able to take us. And so I appreciate what he did to get me into it, and I've been hooked ever since. What was the first animal you hunted? Of course, that was whitetail deer. I killed a doe that day. What are your recommendations for a new hunter getting started that's on a budget? Definitely look around online. You can find some good deals on like eBay. So between that and just, if you're hunting, get a lot of warm base layers. They don't have to be camouflaged. As long as your outer layer is camouflaged, you should be fine. Don't worry about having everything camouflaged all the way down to your underwear, because that just makes no sense. It's cool when you get to that point that you can afford it all, but if you're on a budget, don't worry about it. You can have the ugliest ass shirt underneath the camo shirt and no one will ever know. So, do you prefer to hunt alone or with friends or family? Definitely prefer to hunt with friends or family, just because, for one, you don't want to be out there hunting alone just because it's a safety issue. That time that I lost the bottom of my tree stand, if I didn't have somebody, I'd have been up a creek without a paddle, to say. So, you always want to have somebody just in case. And also it helps, like, if you kill a big monster deer, you want somebody to be able to help you drag that deer out, because it becomes a pain really quick having to drag a deer. So, anyways, that's all the questions I got, all the things I got for you. So, just go on our Facebook page, subscribe to our channel. On YouTube, it's Raw Hunting. And I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks.